Okay, good afternoon, everyone's over here, and thanks to Dr. Anton for inviting me here to speak, as well as all the friends and EXCO member and SES friends who is online as well as presence over here. Okay, so I guess Raju really frightened the shit out of me. I'm thinking whether I can sleep tonight or not. Okay, I'll give you a very quick sharing about exactly how IHES and have adopted the set up the private cloud and our journey to commercial cloud. Okay. Okay, a very quick, brief intro about IHES for those who don't really know about IHES. Okay, IHES in a short form, it stands for IHIS, and we actually the health tech partners for the public health institution in Singapore. Okay, just to share a joke. Okay, the pronunciation is IHIS for short. There was a joke where there was one time the entire leadership went for an overseas retreat, and most of us already cleared the custom, and one of our colleagues stuck at the custom, and we were all guessing why is he taking so long. Most likely he must have pronounced wrongly. Instead of I his, he pronounced as I sees. So that's why stuck at the custom. So that's was a joke. Okay. For you to remember I his. Okay, so very briefly about myself. Okay, this whole thing is not about me, but basically I myself, I don't have not much white hair at this moment in time, but I have more than 20 years of IT experience, and mostly a large part of my career is in SI, and I started off as a mainframe programmer. Okay, and I joined IHES in 2015. The intent is to IHES H Cloud already been there. Is for me to take on the H Cloud platform and to grow it. So one of the immediate things that I did when I joined IHES is to make sure that the processes itself must be robust, must be structured. That's why we achieved ISO 20000 and 27000 in subsequent year. Okay, very quickly. I don't have 10 slides, a little bit more than that. So I have to run really quick in mindful of the time. So I talk a little bit on the private cloud that we have, the data center. So that's why I can safely share that our environment, how we move to the commercial cloud piece is really critical for us in this phase of time. Okay, our centralized data center. Today is not about data center. Today is about cloud. But I guess coming from an environment, we started off with a private cloud. I will share a little bit with you why is it essential for us, which we already have a big setup, and why is it so critical and pertinent for us to move to the commercial cloud space. We have a 10,000 square feet data center, and it's really tier 3 plus compliance. Our partners are here that set this up with us. The entire data center, it's a multi-million-dollar investment and is comply with government hosting requirement. It's multiple DC setup, active data replication. We're hosting more than 800 applications, and some are highly mission critical systems. And to share interestingly, these mission critical systems are really very critical, meaning to say that the clinicians in the hospital right now, they rely on these systems heavily. So patient safety is at stake when the system actually goes down or blackout. So this is how critical is our SLA that we have to maintain. We have very stringent SLA to meet. Okay, there's a fully in-source model with 200 engineers supporting the setup. Okay, oh shit. Okay. Finish. Oh dear. Sorry, don't mind. Can you bring back to, yeah, sorry. Oh dear. As you can see, I got a lot of slides. I need to run a bit faster. Okay, good. Thank you. So 2014, we set up this private cloud. It's actually centralized data center. It's a birth of it. And 2016, we took 2 years. Okay, it was a painful journey. Those days, we haven't really moved into the commercial cloud space yet. So it was a painful journey that we migrated those 800 applications that I mentioned from various small data center server room to a centralized huge DC. Immediately after that, we know that the structure and process is very essential. We achieved ISO 20000. At 2017, 2 years from that, we achieved 27,000. So today, technically speaking, we are the 4th year running with the ISO. And ISO, bearing in mind, every year is get harder and harder. Okay, this specific year, 2021, as we speak right now, we are preparing for version 2.0 to integrate with our commercial cloud. Okay, we call ourselves, we don't call hybrid cloud. We give ourselves a more sexy name. We call ourselves the unified cloud. But the intent is really there. We don't want to be just siloly. One side is private cloud, one side is commercial cloud. We want to unify them. We want to provide an end-to-end holistic solutions so that we are able to keep some essential systems, okay, in the private cloud, and then we are able to innovate as well in the commercial cloud space. So that's why we call ourselves the unified cloud. It stands for private cloud HPC and HCC for commercial cloud. There was a very interesting, I'm sure some of you believe that you all recognize public cloud as the CSP. Why in IHIS we call it commercial cloud? I mean, we can't call HPC a HPC. There's a reason why we call it commercial cloud for HCC for say, meaning to say that it's expensive at this point in time. Okay, so I'll run through this very quickly. Why is it timely now for us to integrate our HPC to HCC? Okay, of course, as I said, it's very complex in managing that kind of a large size data center and supporting a large number of servers of different flavors. As I speak, our environment, we have all kind of operating systems, from Solaris to AIX to Ubuntu. So it's quite a challenge. And the turnaround time is expanding the infrastructure resource. It's not easy in a private cloud setup, meaning to say, especially from IHIS, we're supporting the PHI. We need to have a very prudent kind of procurement requirements before we are able to expand the capacity. And we are talking about a cost recovery model. We are not able to expand and build that kind of buffer that commercial cloud has. Okay, so and again, it's heavily reliant on human process. We can't really provide a real-time spending visibility and reduce mean time to repair, replace faulty equipment, reduce manual laborers, erroneous processes, and of course, last but not least, improve employee productivity and skill set. We want our engineers to be proficient in the commercial cloud space, to be proficient in all the latest technology like containers and serverless platform. So I will skip this part. Basically, these are all the categories that we get ourselves ready in this specific version, what we are looking for in our integration HUC platform. Okay, just to give you a highlight, our HCC build is in this form. Okay. We have a set of mandatory service. Just now, this morning, we mentioned about untrusted. We have moved from trusted to untrusted, and then Raju painted a very scary picture. So when we move into the commercial cloud space, we make sure that we want to secure our users, go in a very secure way, 24/7 being monitored. So our HCC setup, we have a set of, you look at this diagram, at the left-hand side is a set of compliance services that we are preparing, meaning to say that when the users come on board our environment, they will be monitored, they will be guided, it will be templatized, there will be checklists. Okay? It will not be free flow. I wouldn't say free flow. We want to make sure that they have the agility and make sure that it's also in a secure way. We want to govern them in that process. The center part is the part that goes on the internet, the scary world, as what Raju shared. Okay? So before the workloads can go into the internet, we will have this custom. We call them the border control services, where they will have a lot of, the security posture and defense in place. We will have DDoS, we will have data content scrubbing and things like that to make sure that any data traffic goes out to the internet and comes back in, gets inspected. Okay, but in the right-hand side most will be the workload for the individual users. It will be compartmentalized and again templatized to make sure that they comply to those standards and security requirements we set for them. And last but not least, they will go through the cloud fabric and we set up a cloud exchange for them to integrate back with our private cloud. That is the entire unified cloud environment that we are moving to. Okay, so I move into the cloud innovation by IHIS. What are exactly the business outcome IHIS is looking for? Are we want to optimize what we already have, or you want to innovate or be a disruptor? Okay, At this point in time, we actually have already have a lot of projects on the commercial cloud space. We are going to migrate them into a more secure environment, which is HCC in this case. So we, as an optimizer, what we want to look for is to reduce the time to market, have a POC or MVP, reduce our operation costs, and to leverage on all those capabilities that the commercial clouds can offer. Okay, as an innovator, when we move to the cloud, we want to make sure that we improve the customer experience, expand our capability and services. Okay, we are not at the disruptor stage yet. Okay, but we are aiming for that. Hopefully, someday we are able to create an iHeat signature product that we can create a new need for the business to consume. Okay, COVID-19, as I said, COVID-19 pandemic has given cloud computing the opportunity to prove itself. Okay, nothing much to share. Okay, this is already in the papers. On 5th April, MOH announced that Singapore Expo Hall will be converted to a CCF to house the COVID-19 patient who are clinically well, but we do not want to overwhelm the hospital. So these are the mild symptom case, but they still have been taken care of. So how has iHeat contributed in this case? We develop an application. The application is already with us. We customize it at the cloud in a very, very quick way. It's called a GP Connect, powered by cloud, an integrated clinical management system with EMR was used as the solution to support CCF. Very quickly, when we have the instruction, we look into all the solutions that we have, we pick the right one, we customize it, we launch it in a very, very quick way. To be honest, this is technically only achievable in the commercial cloud space because it's elastic and it has all the services and capability. So this is a picture of how iHeat's team training the doctors on how to use the system. The other application that we built, VSM, Vital Signs Monitoring, to enable patients to take their own temperature, blood pressure, and oxygen saturation readings. In a CCF context, even in the hospital, we try to minimize the clinician's contact with the patient. So we make them fill up their own readings. So this is a cloud solutions that are enabled to certain devices. We have the we call it the oxygenator, as well as a tablet where they actually fill up all the readings inside by themselves on a daily basis. It will all feedback to the cloud platform, and we have a big dashboard for the clinicians to monitor and jump into any alert situation you need to. Okay, this is another case study about integration between different applications at the cloud. As you know, Health Hub is an application that all citizens in Singapore has it. Okay, this is a mobile apps. It's powered by cloud. Okay, I will not name which cloud is that, but okay, download these apps. You are able to see all your health records, even your family health records. Authenticate through SingPass. What we've done lately is we actually integrate with the vaccine operation. iHeat is actively using the same application that we developed for CCF. We customize it very rapidly. We launch it for the vaccine ops. So the vaccine operation that you see right now as you rapidly set up, they're using the iHeat application that iHeat has set up. So how we link these two systems, okay? Let me see whether can I use pointer now. Over here, okay, this is a sample of, if you had your vaccine, you will have a sample of, oh, you asked me to wrap up. Oh dear, I got so many more slides. Yeah. Okay, this very quickly. So this is a sample of how we are able to integrate two different operation systems together. One is a health mobile apps for citizens, and we integrate with our GPC systems. Okay, then that's where to us, when we design the system, we make sure that the speed is there, the experience is there, the efficiency is there, and it's location agnostic. Okay, the other application that we have developed is also chatbot as a service, but this is more for staff use. We have a large volume of data hosted in our private cloud. So we actually use some of our commercial cloud. This is a unified cloud platform that we're talking about, that they are able to use chatbot to able to crunch large volume of data using simple keywords. Okay, I will probably skip this, talk about collaboration as a service. You know, we have Zoom, we're using Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Cisco, WebEx. These are all the cloud services that help us in this period right now for collaboration. Okay, what I will move very quickly to talk about the kind of challenges that we face. Okay, well, although we have embarked on our journey to integrate to commercial cloud, what are the challenges that we are ready to handle? Identity management, large number of closely intertwined application in our HPC platform right now. How are we able to equip more cloud technologies, architects, and evangelists? Of course, the last but not least, how are we able to enable our team, our engineers, in a multi-cloud environment? Okay, we have a huge number of user ID in the multiple forests. As you can see, we support 70,000 users or more. Okay, so we need to make sure that there are proper identification of these users, whether they're contractor, they're temporary workers, they're frontline, they're clinicians. When they come in, do you have 2FA or MFA? Are we able to protect and monitor their privileged access in the commercial cloud space? And last but not least, of course, we need to evaluate whether we need to look into some form of one identity set services. One such example is Azure AD. Okay, how are we able to enable that? What will be the TCO? Large number of closely intertwined applications. We are hosting 800 applications, and there are a lot more still spinning out. Greenfield applications still spinning up, and as we speak. So how are we able to move and what to move? Okay, I will not use commercial term like whether refactor or replatform. Okay, I'll use a Gartner sharing over here. Leave and shift as is. Okay, move across, or leave and optimize. We do some form of platform, change it to containers or serverless, or transform it to another form of applications over in this case. So are we able to move them in silo? We need to identify, move them in silo. One specific application move across, but there will be enormous amount of data traffic traversing between, or we're going to pack them and move them in the group. The cost versus agility, the right time to move, and the agreement to move. Bearing in mind that at the end of the day, all these applications, IHIS is a system custodian. The ownership still belongs to the PHI. So we need to convince them, and tell them when is the right time to, because this system that we're talking about, they are 24/7. Okay, how are we able to equip more cloud technologies and architects? I'm sure this is a problem and challenge faced by many organizations. Okay, it's a complete new world as compared with traditional apps and infra setup. We are looking for all-rounders to understand cloud to support business. Okay, we're looking for a change in mindset and a shift in technical competency. This is a T-shaped capability I'm referring to about the all-rounders. We are referring to these specific cloud technologies must have some form of product knowledge. They must have some business knowledge. They must have some financial capability to do some, justification on the cost versus moving to the cloud, what kind of services they should take, and things like that. And they must have people skill in engaging the class, the users, to convince them that we need to move to the commercial cloud space. Okay, but last but not least, they must have technical knowledge in breadth and depth in certain components. Okay. Managing a multi-cloud environment. This is again one of the big challenges that we are looking how we are able to manage this. Identify the appropriate CSP as a partner and run. There will be, I guess our next topic will be whether single cloud, hybrid or multi-cloud. Okay. Using a common set of base tools to defend the cloud environment. As you can see, we are building out HCC. We're going to have multiple partners that's going to connect with us. How our set of compliance services that we're going to build, it's able to meet all these different CSP environment setup. And of course, in a multi-cloud environment, with the limited resource that we have, the team competency in some way or another will be diluted unless I'm ready to beef up a huge team. So these are some of the things that some challenges that we probably have to overcome. So my parting words, it's not about moving everything to the cloud or the edge, rather about changing the focus on how IT is able to deliver value to the business. Okay. Cloud computing, as Yoxin has mentioned, it has changed the world and level up every Inspire technopreneur to the same level of playing field. Okay. Lean startups and SME have access to the tool necessary to compete with tech giants. And CSP are helping companies to offer services to accelerate these changes. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you very much for your attention. Thanks.